Hello, everybody. Welcome to Unscripted Access, episode number 115. You're here with your host, Nick McCandless. On this week's show, we also have Anthony Ta.
Hello.
And that is it. So we're rocking only a two-person cast this week again. But we have spring the show. And we have some stuff to talk about, so we weren't going to let the crazy schedule of the staff keep us down. So, with that said, let's go ahead into the news. Sony Online Entertainment has been sold by Sony to an investment firm called Columbus Nova. This is the same company, Sony Online Entertainment. Their two big titles are EverQuest and PlanetSide. What are your thoughts on this, Anthony?
What does Sony Online Entertainment even make these days? Because Bronson and I
isn't PlanetSide 2 their latest, I believe?
It's just like Bronson and I actually looked at this up as a curiosity last year. Believe it or not, they were still putting out expansion packs for EverQuest 1 still. And I do believe EverQuest is under SOE. So, yeah, so there was EverQuest, but there's EverQuest 2, and yeah, they're free to play, but let's be honest here, you have World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy 14.
Well, yeah, but
it's like that division
expansions. Obviously, people were playing it.
Oh yeah, like if there's something that you can definitely know for sure about MMO players is that, if you make your MMO at least decent enough, you could build a really, really dedicated fan base. Like, I am not joking. Like EVE Online's not that big at all. It's not that crazy at all. Oh, okay, let me phrase that. It's not that big at all. It doesn't have the big subscriber numbers. It used to have like a pretty big internet ad campaign a while back when you saw them in the banners, but that was about it.
Oh,
and
yeah,
maybe that was that
everywhere.
Yeah, but now no one really cares, but people still play EVE Online. Why? Well, there's just things you do in EVE Online that just can't exist anywhere else. Like, I would hear, like, the craziest stories out of that place. Like, one person forgets to pay rent, and that left this giant open amount of territory or whatever open for grabs, and everyone was warring over this. Or the person who successfully pulled off a financial Ponzi scheme in EVE Online. It's ridiculous. Like, and then, and in case of EverQuest, they still make expansions for it. And you think to yourself, why in the world would they still make expansions for it? Well, if you still have a player base that still plays it, yeah, you could make an expansion for it. And look at World of Warcraft. It's like, what, it's 10 years old. It's over 10 years old now. Guess what? They're back up to 11 million subscribers. Like, I freaking have a box from the Cataclysm days, which is like over 4 years ago, and that sticker said, sorry, that was 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I had like original World of Warcraft box back in the Wrath of the Lich King days, and it had a sticker that said over 13 million online or something like that. And now Warcraft's back on the rise again, so they never have to make a World of Warcraft 2 ever. So MMOs, lots and lots of dedication, which is probably why Sony Online Entertainment lasted as long as it did. Because, if you budget accordingly and you work with your fan base accordingly and you know how to handle it responsibly, you'll be surprised how long an MMO can last. And I'm trying to look at what else they make.
Yeah, I mean, if you can make money on it, why not do it? I mean, obviously, they're not... Some people are like, why are they still supporting EverQuest? Well, Sony's not doing it because they like blowing money. They're doing it because they know they can make a profit off of it.
I know,
crazy enough.
It's probably a small profit, but it's still a profit. Like, I'm not joking. They could have shut down EverQuest a long time ago because, first off, EverQuest 2 exists, and then there's World of Warcraft, which ever since that thing existed, no MMO has ever came close. Like, I'm not a Warcraft fan. I highly respect it, but I just don't get it. But at the end of the day, that thing has 11 million active subscriptions. This isn't like total players. These are like number of people who are paying for it right now.
Every month.
Each and every month.
It's like was it $15 a month?
$15 a month. Which, if you think about it, if you're into MMO, if you find an MMO you like, that's actually really good value. Like, for example, for me, my MMO is Final Fantasy 14, and people are like, why do you keep paying $15 a month? Well, when I play a game for 50 hours or more every single month for $15, yeah, that's really good value. I'm not joking. Like, I've bought $60 games that I've only played for 15 hours and never touched ever again. And that to me is bad value. Like, MMOs are great value if you're into them. And MMOs can make a lot of money. Like, freaking, you think about it. Blizzard has like 11 million subscribers paying $15. That's a lot of money coming in. And, and if you make the right MMO, you can make huge amounts of money. Unfortunately, Warcraft, I think, is probably the only one that ever makes that much money, because ever since the WoW
that's nuts. That means they're bringing in approximately like 160 million a month just off subscriptions.
Yeah. And here's the other thing, too, is that we talk about how, Halo's a great seller, right? And how Legend of Zelda is a great seller, and how Call of Duty is a great seller, and how Assassin's Creed is a good seller.
And they are.
And they are good sellers. But then you look at World of Warcraft, which is a 10-year-old game that's running on expansions, and there's 11 million people paying $15 every single month to play it. It's just like, how many games can you name that can have 11 million people continuously playing it? Continuously. Like, every game, you buy it, you finish it, and then you just throw it on your shelf until like sometime in the future when you want to revisit an old classic.
Yeah, because the thing with World of Warcraft, it's not where you just buy the game. People are paying monthly, so if someone's not playing the game, they're not gonna pay monthly for it.
Yeah, and the fact that MMOs have like continuously evolving content all the time, free patches, then expansions, and then more patches. Yeah, but anyways, that's basically MMOs right there. But
here's a question, because I'm not into the big MMO thing. So they released the game 10 years ago. So obviously the graphics of back then are quite dated. Do they release patches to enhance the visuals?
Every expansion that they do, they update the graphics engine. I mean, you can kind of look at it and tell that it's... Personally, for me, I can still tell that there's some things that make it a 10-year-old game. Like, you look at Warcraft, and then you look at Final Fantasy 14. Like, Final Fantasy 14 is, like, redone, and it came out, like, a year and a half ago. Like, Realm Reborn, at least. And then you look at World of Warcraft, and you say, yeah, Warcraft looks dated, but it doesn't look super, super old, because they try and update it all the time. Like, with Cataclysm, one of the things they tried doing was updating the lighting and all that kind of stuff. And then when you have more powerful PCs, let's put more trees, more color. Like, Warcraft is, like, it relies on its art, also. Because you could tell, yeah... Oh, yeah, they gave new character models. That was a big thing they talked about with the latest expansion, was new character models, which I don't think looks that amazing. I'm sorry. It just doesn't look that good. It looks better, for sure, but it's not that amazing. But yeah, they update it. But to be honest, though, a lot of the most popular PC games aren't exactly the prettiest lookers. Like League of Legends, freaking... that game runs on a toaster, but do people care how good it looks? Not really. It just needs to look good enough. I mean, it's just kind of strange. Like, StarCraft 2, it could, like, work on some, like, crappy computer, too. Same with Dota, same with Hearthstone.
Well, that's the case with all MMOs, isn't it?
Oh, I wouldn't say all MMOs, though. Like, Final Fantasy 14, you actually do need a somewhat beefy computer to sort of run it. But, yeah. Freaking... it looks good enough. The most popular PC games I see out there aren't exactly the most intensive. Actually, here's the thing. Here's a fun fact. Actually, the most popular PC games out there right now they actually run on low-end computers, because not everyone has a fancy computer at all. And you kind of need your stuff to run on toasters. League can run on a toaster. I'm not joking. I put League on my Windows XP computer, and it was like running like 20 or 30 frames a second, which I guess is good enough. Hearthstone runs on medium settings on my really old laptop that had no special graphics chip in it. Medium settings. And that same laptop ran Warcraft on low settings. And back when my laptop was off for warranty repair and my desktop kept freezing up all the time, I had to take the video card out, so I had an NVIDIA GeForce 6150 SE. And I was playing Cataclysm on 800 by 600 resolution on low settings. In Outland. So everything was covered in fog. I didn't know what I was seeing, but you know what? I could still play the game. and I can still play the game reasonably, considering that I had no graphics of whatsoever, but it worked. And I think that's just one of those things that make a very popular PC games. If you can get it to run on just about anything, it'll be successful, because let's be honest, there are lots of gamers out there that don't have the budget of a gaming PC. Yes, you can build the PC game, you can build a gaming PC cheaply, but if you have an old system, you don't really need to. If you're looking to play like League or Dota or Hearthstone or StarCraft.
The thing with like Dota or League of Legends is you don't have to have a gaming PC to play them. That's the thing.
That's why they're so popular.
Yeah, a lot of college students, they go and get like a $400, $500 laptop. Yeah, they can still play League. So,
to be honest, though, when I was in college, so many people had MacBooks for some reason.
Oh, MacBook. If you buy a MacBook, you aren't going to have... Let me just say this. Any MacBook you have will definitely be able to run it, because Apple doesn't put the best hardware in their laptops, but they're far from the bottom either.
They're not cheapo netbooks, basically.
Yeah, like
netbooks, that was a thing that used to exist.
Yeah, like I bought my MacBook Pro. This summer it'll be 3 years, so 2.5 years ago I bought my MacBook Pro, and it has i7, and I think the graphics card's a 650M. So nothing special by any means.
Nothing special except your storage drives, which to this day I don't know why you did that.
Yes.
I freaking... Why?
I bought... So with my MacBook, it was the same time they came out the Retina ones. And I regret making this decision, but I bought a non-Retina one for 2 reasons. One, as far as the RAM goes, with a MacBook, the problem is that with the Retina ones, you're set with RAM. So if you buy it with 8 gigabytes of RAM, you are stuck with 8 gigabytes of RAM. Versus with the non-Retina, you could put your own RAM in there. And if you know anything about Apple, you know that if you add RAM through Apple, they charge you an arm and a leg. Like to go from 8 gigabytes to 16 gigabytes, they'll charge you like almost $300, which is ridiculous. So I wanted to change that. So I bought 16 gigabytes of RAM and put it in my non-Retina. The other reason, which it's definitely overkill and quite ridiculous, is because I had this genius idea that, hey, I'm not going to use the CD drive. Hey, wouldn't it be awesome if I bought 2 solid-state drives and ran as a RAID 0? Like, I would never have to worry about a bottleneck on storage, like, ever again anytime soon. So I did that. And completely ridiculous. Because, yeah, the speeds are crazy fast, but it doesn't... The other hardware is a bottleneck, so it keeps it slowed down anyway, so it doesn't make a difference. I've been fine with just having 1 solid-state drive. So, yeah, that's my story with my MacBook Pro.
Solid-state drives and RAID 0, what?
Yeah.
I just sit there and I'm like, wow.
I probably won't be upgrading my MacBook this year because I have no reason to, but I'm kind of hoping, because the thing is, Apple hasn't released any like substantial upgrade to their MacBooks in a while. I mean, I guess you could count the Retina, but other than that, there hasn't been any substantial upgrades to the models. They're pretty much been the same for the past 4 to 5 years.
It's kind of strange because normally they like their phone. Obviously, every year is a new iPhone, and every year is a new iPad. Every year though with the iPhones, what they do is every year they have like a design change. So like they had the iPhone 6 this year, but later this year it'll be the iPhone 6s, and it'll pretty much be the exact same body and frame. It'll just be internal upgrades, and that's what they typically do. They release a new one and they upgrade the hardware slightly, but then they release the S model, which is like pretty much twice as fast is usually what they do. Like when they release, like for example, they released the iPhone 6. The processor is like 50% faster, but when they come out the 6S is probably going to be twice as fast as what's in the 6. And it'll have some type of feature that utilizes that hardware or something like that. I think the reason why the laptops don't seem that interesting is that because it's kind of a little hard at this point to come up with the next big thing for them. Whereas phones are so popular and sell so well that you kind of need to find.
Yeah, the one thing I hope
new
they really
things.
don't do, because it's of no interest to me whatsoever, is this touchscreen crap with laptops. I don't like it whatsoever. I would never use it.
It makes
Like,
Windows 8
keep that for tablets and phones. Like, for a laptop, no, I don't want a screen.
It's like, for me, it's like... Whoa, who's there?
It's Tori and Steph. Hi.
Oh, hey, Tori, Stephanie. That's weird. I didn't get a notification on TeamSpeak, and I'm not even looking at my computer right now. Hey, how you guys doing?
We were wondering if you didn't notice we were here or what.
Yeah, I didn't even notice you guys were in here. But yeah, we're talking. Hey, we're talking about Sony sold Sony Online Entertainment, who brought us EverQuest, that thing that existed and yet still some people play.
I used to have one.
That thing that came out in 1999 and most recently had an expansion pack last October. No lie.
Wow.
1999.
I heard something about touchscreen computers and MacBooks.
Oh, yeah. So essentially what we were talking about is... Oh, gosh, we strayed so far. Yeah, we were talking about... how, like, they typically are not... Like, the most successful, popular games on PC, like League and Dota, are games that can be played pretty much on any laptop. And that's part of the reason why they're so successful, is because those college students, they don't have the fancy gaming desktops or
trust me, I know.
the latest MacBooks. They may just have a budget $400 laptop that just gets them by.
Yeah.
But the benefit of League, World of Warcraft, Dota, these games can be played on those budget machines. So, I mean, that's part of the reason why they're so successful. Versus, look at, let's say, I mean, The Witcher 3's, that's going way too far, because the specs for that are completely out of this world.
Yeah.
But let's just say, like, a standard game, like, let's say, like, Assassin's Creed, like Assassin's Creed Unity. You need a pretty decent machine to be able to play that game. And a lot of people don't have that. So that's part of the reason why MOBAs and MMOs are so successful, is generally they're able to run on hardware. You can have a computer from 7 or 8 years ago, and it could quite possibly run on that computer. Versus, you say, running the new Assassin's Creed on a computer from 7, 8 years ago, it's laughable, because it's just not going to happen. And you have to have a gaming PC. Like, these MOBAs and MMOs... A lot of these laptops don't have dedicated graphics. They're built onto the processor as little chipsets. And those aren't even a thought with most of these AAA games. But once again, with MMOs and MOBAs, you are able to do that. But yeah, so like with my MacBook, I've had it this summer. I've had it for 3 years. And the things that are nice about Mac is just, like I said, I've had this thing for almost 3 years. It doesn't feel a single bit dated.
Yeah, my computer is nearly, how old is it now? It'll be 5 years old this year. And
what, your Mac?
No, I just have a regular computer, and it's definitely feeling the age.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so with my MacBook Pro, I can say that, yeah, I mean, when I do video edits and all that stuff, it's perfectly fine. So I have no reason to upgrade my MacBook Pro. And I've debated, when do I want to upgrade it? It's just like, I have no reason to. There's been no substantial changes with the MacBook, so that's why I'm hoping that we see maybe next year sometime, because I guess, yeah, 2016 I could see me possibly upgrading my MacBook. See something that Apple brings, because the MacBook line just has not changed. Like I said, since they pretty much went with these aluminum bodies, nothing has changed. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this year we see MacBooks with the new Touch ID in them, but I want more than that, like something to really incentivize me. I don't know what that is, but I'm a big fan of Apple, so I'm sure Apple will find a way. But, so Sony Online Entertainment is no longer a part of Sony. They're going to be called Daybreak Game Company now, and they're being supported by this investment firm called Columbus Nova. So, what will we see? Well, this transaction just kind of happened, so we don't know yet. but well, I'm sure we'll find out in the somewhat near future. Why Sony would have sold them? Well, I completely understand why they sold them. I mean, I think, like I said, I think PlanetSide 2 is their latest release. I'm pretty sure. So,
their latest release is Planet. No, wait. No, that probably their last major release, yes, but Dragon's Prophet, which came out September 2013.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, like, you look at a lot of these titles and you don't see much. Like, if I was, some of them stood out: The Matrix Online, Bejeweled 2, Star Wars, Clone
Bejeweled, awesome.
Payday, The Heist, Bullet Run, PlanetSide.
Oh yeah, Payday the Heist. That's right. That is.
Yeah. Magic the Gathering Tactics, DC Universe Online.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They got a few names. It's just that obviously when you're talking, there's like World of Warcraft, and then there's Final Fantasy 14, and there's everyone else.
Right.
So, I mean, I could see why. It's really hard to make a good MMO. I mean, it's just like, it's just with the success of WoW, people want to make an MMO, but the problem is that it's a very high risk kind of thing, because yes, they are very popular, but you kind of have to do something special to even have a chance of,
well, yeah,
knocking the door at Warcraft.
You got to pull them away from what they're already used to.
And you think about it, you think of MMOs are a colossal time investment, because you think about it, you spent maybe like 4 years doing your stuff in World of Warcraft, build up your character, built up all these, friendships with your guild, and did all this stuff and beat all these monsters and stuff. And now basically what you're doing when you jump a game is start over. I mean, I personally
would start World War III. Like, seriously, if this happened, I don't think I would ever leave my apartment ever. Is if somehow there was some big, let's just say big, I'm sure they've got terabyte, I mean, God knows how much backups they've got, but let's just say somehow all of the World of Warcraft data just completely disappeared. And this game that people have put like 10 plus years, World
of Warcraft disappears.
Yeah, just imagine like all that progress for every single player in the world was just disappeared overnight.
See,
could you imagine what would happen? We would have countless suicides for sure.
Part of me wants to say that majority of World of Warcraft players are actually normal people that live decent, reasonable lives and, are normal and they play the game for fun. That's my hope. Because
Anthony, you're talking about the game that people have murdered each other for.
I know, but
they have
you also have to remember
themselves to death. They have kept themselves from going to the restroom. What's that? I personally just do not understand how you can sit there and have to go to the restroom and force yourself not to. You end up killing yourself.
That's ridiculous. Just saying.
You have to be like in some stupid.
Like, Steph and I have steel bladders, but I don't think we're literally depraved in that way.
Like, you have to be, like, in some asinine group that said, if you go to the bathroom, we're going to kick you out of the group. Like, there has to be some stupid
If someone ever said that to me, I'd be like, please kick me out of the group then. If you're telling me that because I do a normal bodily function like every other human on Earth, you're going to kick me out, then please kick me the fuck out because you're retarded. Like, that's... Like, I cannot believe that. People have like murdered their parents because they ground them from their computer. Like, this is this is crazy.
Okay, well, I just want to say, that's like kind of like the gaming industry in general. It's just like, how many cases have we had of those out of the 11, 12, or say lifetime 20 million people who have touched the game?
Absolutely.
We're counting the people.
It's definitely not the majority. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying. I think it would start I seriously would not be surprised if it started like literally World War III. Because I could just see like some people overseas getting so pissed because World of Warcraft is their life and like freaking sending freaking bombs over here to try to blow up Blizzard and stuff. Like, I could just, it would be.
Oh man,
that sounds a little bit excessive.
I honestly, here's the scary thing. I do not think that's excessive whatsoever. I mean, we are talking about, like I said, very small percentage, but it only takes one person Like, remember, World of Warcraft
One person
people,
will ruin it for everybody.
yeah, World of Warcraft people have literally starved themselves to death because they don't want to take 2 seconds to go eat something away from their computer, or they'll die from sleep deprivation because they won't go to sleep and they just play the game for like 6 days straight.
I have some hope. Like I said, I have some hope in humanity because it's like a majority of people that I talk to, MMOs are actually like normal people who go to school or work jobs or take care of their families. Like, I'm just like, that's most people I meet. Like, I think I've only maybe met ever like maybe 2 or 3 people who actually were the 16-hour-a-day people who actually did play the game. A lot.
Yeah,
and then I think they were on vacation or something.
It's never the majority that we're talking about. It's mainly the minority.
It's the stuff that hits up on news. I remember very vividly that when I first got my Wii in 2007, I plugged my Wii up and they had this news app, or news channel, I should say. So I started the news channel, and one of the headlines was family couple arrested for death of like neglected child in Reno. That was like one of the first headlines I saw on my Wii when I bought it, and I'm just like, oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing for consoles. I mean, you hear all the time about how video games cause people to kill people and stuff, which is stupid. If you're not in the right mind state to be playing video games, or you're too young, you shouldn't be playing them. Like, don't blame the video games when this parent is allowing their 7-year-old kid to play Grand Theft Auto. Don't blame it on the kid, blame it on the parenting. Because would you go let them watch some of these R-rated films? Like, if you're that type of parent that lets your 7-year-old kid watch R-rated films, watch Grand Theft Auto, and that's what he grows up on, and he thinks it's okay to do those type of things, then that's an issue of parenting at that point. Like, you shouldn't. You can't blame that on the game. Like, you need to look at, and yes, there are people that they are maybe not in the right mental state to be playing these games. They can't differentiate right from wrong, or what's real, what's not. And once again, those people shouldn't be exposed to these games either.
Okay, so like that's like the counter, like that's kind of like the counterpoint I'm a little concerned about. Is like, on one hand, I have a little bit of faith in humanity and that most of them live normal lives, and on the other hand, the fact that all your 5 years of work that you put towards this character beating the best, hardest bosses in the game's history, and you actually achieving something in a game that you could never achieve in real life, suddenly disappearing. It's like having your bank account disappear. Except that was bad, but that's probably what it would feel like for a day.
That's what I'm saying. If it was just, like I say, it would never happen because Blizzard probably has a million different backups. But
yeah, they have to.
Yeah, if that ever happened, it'd be like what's that movie? The Purge. I would seriously freaking barricade myself in my apartment and just not leave, because I seriously think it'd be freaking insanity. If something happened like
Nick,
that.
I think barricading yourself in an apartment is a good idea, considering that you're freaking in the same city as Blizzard. So if Blizzard screws up.
Yeah, I might actually just go to my
shelter.
parents, because, I live only 2 miles away from Blizzard. So you know what? Maybe I'll just fly to North Carolina and stay with my parents, because...
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I don't know.
Just avoid SoCal.
Yeah, Irvine might not be a city anymore after that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's scary, because when you put that type of time investment and actually achieve in ways that you feel like you couldn't achieve in real life, it kind of has an effect. But yeah, that would be scary. But
I mean, Anthony, let me ask you: obviously you aren't crazy, so you wouldn't do anything. But what would you do if, let's just say, all of your progress in Final Fantasy XIV just overnight was removed, could not be retrieved? How upset would you be? Would you just move past it? What would you do?
Well, for one, I would be pissed, and two, it would be a relief. One, I would be pissed because obviously it's like, oh wow, so basically I played the game, and I've played it for like a year and a half now, so it's like, oh crap, all my progress is gone, and do I really want to start over? You know what? No. And then there's the relief. The relief is, great, I don't have to think about, how all those people are going off and doing the hardest stuff in the game, and me trying to figure out how to get there or whatever. It's just like, yeah, if they erase everything, you know what? That's kind of probably a nice opportunity for me to actually finally put the game down, stop, and find other things to play. Maybe I'll do that. Or maybe I'll just start over and be more casual about it because everyone's back in the same spot, whereas, others are way far ahead and others are far behind. I don't know. Right. Yeah, I would be pissed because I'm like, I pay you guys, I played this game for this long, and you guys make lots of money, and you're telling me you couldn't put decent security on your servers. Yeah.
How about you, Tori and Stephanie? Do you guys have a single MMO or game that you've invested a lot of time in that if something like this happened, you'd be pretty upset over?
Oh, yeah.
For me, I haven't played a game like that in years, but there was one once that I spent like my entire life outside of school doing for about a good 6
Well, how would you
months.
feel if you had like one of your super far advanced Don't Starve games just randomly corrupt and never be playable again?
I put no. See, I couldn't. That's not applicable because Don't Starve. The point is to die and start over again. So basically, I'd be like, "Welp, this happened 4 times already. Except this time, it's not me being a dumb person."
Or how would you feel if you lost all your progress on like a Pokemon game?
Okay, then I'd kill somebody.
Okay, so
probably myself.
Nick. Okay, Nick, you have evidence that World War III will start the day Blizzard, like...
No, I am. You guys think I'm joking or exaggerating? I am seriously not
here's the
joking.
Thing. Here's the thing.
Look what The Interview did. The movie The Interview, okay? Look what The Interview did.
That was ridiculous.
We pissed off North Korea, and we ended up getting threats because of a movie, okay? A movie that wasn't even released at the time. You're talking about a game that 11 million people around the world currently pay money for every single month, and a very small percentage, but a very small percentage of 11 million is still a lot of people lose all their information in World of Warcraft as their life. They're gonna go mentally insane, like mentally insane. I would seriously barricade myself and not leave because, like I said, in Irvine, yeah, I'd probably abandon Irvine and go put myself in North Carolina where my parents are, because the fact that I'm 2 miles away from Blizzard is not comfortable for me. Knowing that there could be people flying over here any minute now, God knows what they've got planned, Like, people are nuts. People are nuts. We've heard the stories. I mean, it's not the fact that it's only a small percentage. It's the fact that, hey, there's that small percentage. And
what can they do?
It's the fact that they exist, right?
Yeah. So it's
a small percentage could still, like,
I'm going to North Carolina.
A small percentage could still be 10,000 people, and that's a lot.
Yeah, you got 10,000 people trying to go blow up Blizzard. They're going to blow up Blizzard quite fast, really quick. And I'm sure that's not. Yeah. So
I don't think I want to. Yeah, I don't want to think about that.
So Blizzard, please have your stuff straight. And obviously we know.
But here's the thing: I have some confidence that Blizzard knows what they're doing because I'm pretty sure their security team is well aware that if all the data gets wiped for whatever reason across all their backup points throughout the world, then yeah, they're in deep trouble to the point where they're probably not going to live in the next week, and that's how scary it can be.
Yeah.
And I also have confidence because, like, they've got an entire team dedicated to keeping that game up and running at all times. Like, when the expansion came out, there were obviously DDoS attacks to try and stop it, and they cleared it up in like a day or two. So they've got some seriously good people there to keep it running. So,
right. And I would hate to be a guy that was well known at Blizzard if something like that happened. I'd hope, if I was working at Blizzard, I hope I was one of those guys that no one knew, because you'd have to be on a hit list, like straight up.
Sounds
like
very
as much
scary.
as I want to do art in the gaming industry, working at a company like Blizzard would be terrible.
Yeah, like just imagine if you were like the art director for Blizzard and something like that happened.
God.
Yeah,
no. Like if you're the art director, you're probably safer. Relatively safer. I mean, you're probably still in danger, but you're relatively safer because let's be honest here, the art director is not responsible for the security backup team that screws up, unless of course people are crazy enough to kill you by association. which
yeah,
is
Anthony,
scary.
I understand that, but I could not see it going past them. Like if you're working in the Blizzard office, I'd be scared every single day. I'm just saying, like that would be terrifying to, like that happens. It's like, yeah, I'm not gonna be in the office, so I may as well just quit because I value my life
They
more
would
than
be
this
crazy
job.
enough to kill you just based off the fact that you work there.
Yeah.
That you're associated.
Yeah, exactly.
Just association is bad enough.
Yeah,
so,
but moving on to
moving forward, yeah.
things.
So
Let's move on to happier things.
I just want to get the SOE. I just want to say one more thing about the SOE thing.
Okay.
Sony Online Entertainment. Well, selling it off to an investment firm. Well, I don't know this investment firm, and I hope it doesn't become a case of investment firm says this company must meet X revenue. Because that's like a recipe of them like creating bad quality stuff just to meet some sales numbers or boost or make a better margin.
They'll make a new EverQuest real quick if Sony doesn't. Sony might own that, so maybe not, but they'll release something similar.
The studio makes EverQuest, and the studio run. I mean, when I say studio, sorry, that giant SOE thing, whatever they're renamed to. EverQuest Next is in development. It's going to come out at some point, I think. And I think I remember the only thing about EverQuest Next that I can remember about is destructible environments. Something like that. That was like maybe a year or two ago when they first announced that. But yeah, that's about it.
The sell of SOE does not surprise me whatsoever. I mean, just from like a PR standpoint, I've talked to both companies. They seem like two totally different companies. Like for example, when you go to E3, there's the Sony booth, and Sony EA, SOE is in a totally different, usually a different hall in the corner. Like they have always seemed like two vastly different companies.
So you think about it, it's like there's Sony Computer Entertainment, which handles all the PlayStation stuff, and there's Sony Online Entertainment, which
theoretically you would think they'd be kind of working closer because it's still video games, right? But no, they're like two totally different divisions. So and the fact that they haven't really produced anything that's been a huge hit lately doesn't really surprise me at all that Sony ended up selling it. I mean, it gives them capital to go do something else and use it for better things.
I'm surprised it took them this long to sell it, but but then again, they probably were making a small profit on it at the time. Because there was a period when Sony was losing like a lot of money, and their gaming division was like the only thing that made decent money.
Right. And that's another thing. I mean, EverQuest is finally phasing out, so Sony doesn't want to have to spend time and resources
I don't know.
trying to...
I don't know if they're phasing it out. They got a new expansion last year.
Yeah, but like you said though, how much money they actually made on that? Sony saw that the fact that hey, like they're kind of SOE's kind of going down. We don't want to spend time and resources on it when we would rather spend that time and resources on our own stuff for our PlayStation 4, and the PlayStation 4 is selling crazy well, so it makes sense. It gives Sony more capital to do other things. Staying along with Sony released some numbers. We all love numbers. Sony released some numbers today for the PlayStation 4. They announced during the 3-month period of October 1st through December 31st, so this includes the holidays, they sold 6.4 million PlayStation 4s. That is up from 4.5 million PlayStation 4s sold in the same period last year. So that's actually quite impressive for a couple different reasons. So, one, they sold more than they did last year. The same price. It's not like it's cheaper. It's the same price. But a year after it comes out, it's selling a faster pace than it did when it first came out. Which usually with technology, it's usually the opposite. Usually there's a big spike at launch, and then it goes down. Whereas the PlayStation 4, it's on this upstream. So PlayStation 4 was selling super, super fast, and now it's even selling faster. So that's pretty crazy.
You think about it, it's because like this isn't like some static product where, like, say, what's a good example? It's like releasing a new television. You release a brand new television, and it's your latest, shiniest, affordable model that everyone's going to come after. And then, of course, once everyone kind of has it and wants one, your sales decline. But the TV is like a static product. Whereas with the PlayStation 4, it's not very static. They build it. They build the gaming line. They build the features. They build the online support. There's a lot to build.
Right. Continuing with the numbers, during that same period, they sold a total of 7.5 million PlayStation consoles, 7.5. So that's PlayStation 4s and PlayStation 3s. So that means they sold 1.1 million PlayStation 3s during the holiday season.
So how many Vitas then?
Oh no, they just said consoles. I don't think they released Vita sales. Probably because it's flat out embarrassing. Yeah, yeah, I'm sure it was pretty
and
bad. They
They
might have released Vita numbers. I just don't have that information.
They probably were just like smart. So probably like, we may have these sales numbers, but we're still committed to our portable line. Yeah.
So Sony's still in the lead for console sales. In January, Sony revealed that it sold 18.5 million PlayStation 4s. So that's in January, as of January, 18.5 million since the November 2013 launch. Fastest selling PlayStation ever. Xbox One, even with its holiday pricing, it's estimated to be around 10 million. So the PlayStation 4 has almost sold twice as many consoles, despite the Xbox One having, for price, $350 gets you an Xbox One, Black Flag, and Unity. PlayStation 4, $400 gets you the PlayStation, and that's it. So that's pretty crazy. Sony's gaming division generated $4.3 billion during the quarter, a 16.8% year-over-year increase. So yeah, wow. PlayStation 4 is successful, and it's only getting more successful. So yeah.
Well, this year is even more success because Bloodborne, Metal Gear, all that stuff's coming out too.
Yeah, this is going to be the year where pretty much everyone who plays games will have either a PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, because there's just so many freaking good games coming out this year that actually require the PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. That, this past year, 2014, most games, not all, but most games, if you did not have the newer console, you could still buy it on a PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360. 2015, that kind of changes. Most of these big games, you have to have a next generation console or the new generation console or a gaming PC. So yeah, sales are only going to go up. So good thing for that. The PlayStation is doing well. Even the Xbox is doing well. It's not selling as well as the PlayStation 4, but it's still selling well. Even if you're an Xbox fan, this is good, because if Sony wasn't this successful right now, the Xbox One would still be $500 with the Kinect. But no, now you can buy an Xbox One for $350 and get 2 games with it. That's solely because Sony's doing so well and Microsoft wants to compete. So competition's always good, even if the other side, which I don't understand why you pick sides. Like, yeah, my personal preference, I prefer the PlayStation 4 over Xbox One. But to be one-sided, doesn't really make sense to me unless you work for one of those companies. Just because why wouldn't you want both sides to do well so they compete well? Like I said, unless you're a heavy stock owner in either one of the companies or work high up in the company, you should want all gaming companies to do well. So with that said, Square Enix. So last week we talked about how Square Enix would be announcing a new PlayStation 4 exclusive, and there was all this speculation on what it could be. And it is, you guys ready? Is it the next Final Fantasy?
We're prepared.
It is Mina de Spelunker Z. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Square Enix made this big thing. Oh, we're announcing a brand new PlayStation 4 exclusive. Let's go ahead and put a teaser out there. Let's make this big website about it. And it comes time for them to announce it. And they announce Mina de Spelunker Z. I don't even know what the hell that is.
It's a spelunker. It's a spelunker game. You know Spelunky, right? Cave diving.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So yeah.
I didn't know that.
That website, we were sitting like, it could be Chrono, it could be Final Fantasy. The art kind of looks like more fantasy than sci-fi. So, hey, this could be great, right? But, you know, we gotta remember that this is the same company that came out and said, Final Fantasy VII for PS4, and everyone's like, and it's a port from the, it's a port from, like, the PC or something that's a port of the PS1 version, and just deflate the balloon. It was just too much to ask, apparently.
Oh, good old Square Enix.
This is just I'm just like, man, you guys went through the whole trouble putting that website up. Everyone got a little too hopeful, but it's a good thing I kept in mind that this is the Square Enix. This is the same company that every time they say Final Fantasy VII, they mean a remake isn't coming. They keep teasing about it, but it's not coming. You can give Lightning a cloud outfit, you can throw Final Fantasy VII and, you know, teases in all your games, and maybe even Final Fantasy 15, but they're not going to remake it, people, until the day they're almost bankrupt.
Yeah, with most, it's funny because most big companies, when they do something like this, it's usually worth it. Like when you see Konami do it, usually because it's a new Grand Theft Auto. Or like when Kojima teases stuff, you know it's going to be good. Sony teases something, usually it's good. Microsoft is usually good. Nintendo's usually good. Square Enix, no. Like at this point, like Square Enix is going to throw a teaser out there and say this is going to be the best game to ever come out. This is going to be our biggest project yet, and no one's going to care. Because they hype stuff up and make it seem like it's going to be this huge thing, and then when it comes time to announce what it actually is, it's like, oh.
It's kind of disappointing because they have like a lot of stuff they could tease about. Like they have Tomb Raider, they have Deus Ex because they have the Eidos development team.
Well, Tomb Raider is already Microsoft's publishing that, so we already knew what was going on with Tomb Raider.
They have Final Fantasy 15 and Kingdom Hearts 3. So Final Fantasy 15 and Kingdom Hearts 3 has all the hype right now, so it's just kind of, so that's cool.
Yeah, like they would have been better off like showing like gameplay the new Kingdom Hearts. That would have been more exciting. Much more exciting than to announce this. But someone at Square Enix thought it was a genius idea to, this new Spelunker game, let's go ahead and create a teaser site. Let's go ahead and start emailing the press about this game that's going to be announced exclusively for the PlayStation 4. Make it seem like a big
tell everybody it's going to be the
deal.
best game ever.
Exactly. And when we come to announce it, yeah, they might be kind of disappointed, but at least we got the press about, Square Enix is going to be announcing a game. You know? So.
I mean, like, part of the hype, too, is, like, this will be a brand new game exclusively on PS4. Like, when you hear that, you think, ooh, this is going to be big. The disappointment is unreal. Yeah, well, at least next time they say, we've got a cool new game, we're all just going to be like, yeah, you say so.
Yeah, and then they come out and announce them we want to see.
Freaking, it would have been more exciting if they talked about the Heaven's Guard expansion of Final Fantasy 14. Like, 14 people don't, 14 the average gaming public doesn't really care about, but that would have been more interesting. Like, what do they have? Like, they're going to have Final Fantasy Type 0, they have FF7, Lorecraft, they, 14, some remasters, the Tomb Raider, yeah. Wow, their catalog looks a little small. Games. Yeah, I mean they're kind of like one of the big publishers and developers. Yeah. So, well, a Spelunky game. Okay, cool. I guess.
Well, it might be cool. I mean,
it could be cool. It was just we were like exclusively for PS4 this new game. I'm just like could be anything, and yeah, it definitely could be anything.
It was anything, all right.
Yep.
Like off the wall.
Yeah, it was probably like someone at Square Enix like, you know what I feel like doing in a year? Create a new Spelunker. That's what I want to do. And it turns out to be this huge teaser that the internet goes crazy over. Like I'm trying to think, when was the last super big disappointment like this? Like a big teaser for something, and then when it was announced, it was
to be honest, I don't think like it was like I don't think it was like super huge, but it was like something that we were kind of somewhat holding our breath on, but this is
Square Enix knew what they were doing. They created a teaser site and started sending it out to the press and promoting it. Like You usually do that when you've got something really exciting to show. Like this is almost like counterproductive for them. This just makes them look bad. Like they would have been better off not saying anything and just announcing the game. But to make it seem like it's a big deal and then announcing it and it not being a big deal, that makes them look bad, because then it makes Square Enix look like, oh, this is what this is their big project now. You know? So yeah.
This is the things that they care about most now in comparison to other things.
Yeah. Pretty much. Oh.
Yeah. All right. Moving along. If you're a fan of Kinect, this might be exciting for you. Microsoft has posted a new job listing that states the following, quote, build magical, delightful, and disruptive consumer experiences for the next generation of technology from the creators of the Kinect, Alex Kipman and Kudo Sonoda. And quote, looking to make significant contributions to the early stages of a project with huge growth potential, end quote. We can all speculate, who knows. I'm personally hoping for a new generation version of Project Milo. I know that's what we all want.
Oh man,
Is a virtual kid we can talk to and not seem like a pedophile. I know that's what we all want, is Project Milo 2 on the Xbox One.
Magical experience. Oh.
That presentation was beyond freaking creepy, okay?
That Project is Uncanny Valley bad.
Project Milo was one of the lowest points in video game history.
Yeah, well...
It's like Microsoft. It's like, Phil Molyneux. He's like, Phil Molyneux, I've developed the perfect solution for pedophiles. You can come home, sit on your couch, and talk through the Kinect to a little boy.
Oh man, here's what I think. It's like whoever wants to willingly use Milo is either like what you said, a pedophile, or a person who says, you know what? Screw communicating with people like Nick, Tori, and Stephanie who are real people. I want to talk to a virtual boy, and that's totally normal.
Milo's my best friend.
It's like, hey, you want to hang out with my bro Milo? We're gonna play some Xbox and Halo today. Oh, that's also scary. Oh, oh man.
Yeah, it's like,
that was one of the things that
someone, they're like, "What'd you do over the weekend?" I was like, "I was hanging out with my friend." What'd you do with your friend?
That was a Peter Molyneux thing, right?
Yeah, I was hanging out. My best friend's Milo. Oh, who's Milo?
You'll see when you meet him.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Okay, he's just my best friend.
You'll meet him. He's around.
Yeah, he's on TV.
He hangs out at my house a lot.
Yeah, he's on my TV all the time. It's pretty popular.
Here, let's have Cortana introduce him. And then you just pull out your Windows phone and yeah, Cortana's on smartphones now. So you know how Siri and Google search hasn't exactly perfected voice thing yet? Yeah, well now Cortana, who's supposedly dead, is now on your Windows phone to help guide you wherever you go, apparently.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Milo on Xbox One, that's even scarier, because now the Kinect is more powerful. You just walk into your living room and then Milo just chimes over your home theater system. Good evening, Nick. How are you today?
Yeah.
TV turns on, then Milo's face appears, and then you're just...
I could totally take this down the bad road, but I'm not going to. There's just so many things, but I'm sure that's not what they're going to be working on, okay? We got Phil Spencer heading Microsoft now. We got a guy that actually knows shit about gaming heading the Xbox division. Imagine that.
Oh, man, the creepy levels.
Who knows? The Kinect 2 technically is very impressive.
Oh man, freaking Kinect 1.0 is amazing. Having made a couple projects for the original Kinect, freaking that thing has amazing tech. It's awesome. It's just that it just never really fits into the realm of gaming unless it's dancing. So, but that's my personal opinion on it. 2.0 is it's always one of my biggest complaints with the original Kinect, because the original Kinect your cameras are running at kind of a low resolution if you want to use, the meaningful features on it. With 2.0, heck yeah, 1080p cameras. It's really cool.
Yeah. What about you, Tori and Stephanie? What do you guys think of the new Kinect? What would you like to see done that hasn't been done? Do you guys have any ideas?
Well, seeing as neither of us have Xbox Ones, I have limited knowledge as to what the Kinect is actually capable of at this moment.
Igualmente.
But from what I have seen of it, it's cool what it can do. The voice recognition is obviously amazing in most newer technologies. Like even the newest iPhone's voice recognition is so much better than older versions.
Got it. Yeah, I'm not a big... I mean, it's technically impressive, but I bought my Xbox One when there was no choice. You had to get the Kinect with it. I mean, it's cool to have. For example, when we do live streams, I have a super nice camera. That is very impressive for live streaming because it zooms in and does all this crazy stuff. But other than that, I don't use it. I've never used my Kinect other than for live streaming. That's all
I think it might be fun for like dancing games at parties, but
yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but other than that, like the voice commands, I don't do that. I just rather use the controller. So I don't know. Microsoft could create something that blows me away, and I might actually use my Kinect. I don't know. But when I play games, I want to sit down and use the controller.
Or they could release Spelunker.
Yes, they could create a magical world in Spelunker where you can pretend to walk around and interact with mysterious objects.
That would be cool.
Oh God. Or, well, like I said, Project Milo 2, and in this new iteration, it actually puts you in his bedroom. So do you see Project Milo? He's sitting on his bed. Yeah, he's sitting on his bed. You walk into his bedroom, and he tells you about his day. Like that would be.
Oh man, you just. Oh god, can you imagine just with HoloLens, you just walk into your bedroom and there's Milo? You can you could turn your you could turn your entire house into a horror game right there.
No, I'm good. Cool without that in my life.
Oh man,
you don't want Project Milo. You don't want Project Milo to welcome you as you walk in through your door.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, see, I'm not a fan
What's
either.
Wrong
but you
with
know
you guys?
No, wait, but there you go. See, I just came up with another idea for HoloLens for gaming. You could turn your house into a horror game, assuming you don't break anything in your house.
Oh yeah, just have it like dim the lights and be like, okay, let's get some atmospheric bullshit going on. Great.
Yeah, because HoloLens is connected to your entire house. It shuts the lights off randomly on October 31st, and yeah. Okay, yeah, that's a little
turn it into a real Halloween.
Yeah. That is too real. Okay, well.
Yeah, that's it for the news I have. It's a pretty dead week for news, actually. Unless there's anything else anyone else wants to cover.
I'm gonna do a search.
But, Tori and Stephanie, how's your week been?
How was our week, I think?
It's pretty mellow. Just been doing school stuff, things like that. Haven't had much time to look into gaming stuff. I recently got Omega Ruby this last week, finally.
Cool.
That's cool. Yeah, Pokemon
I started
games,
playing it and then I fell asleep before I got very far.
So hey, I've got some news that's really important. So Club
throw it out
Nintendo.
there, what did I miss?
So Club Nintendo is shutting down this year, but recently they have now dumped a huge amount of rewards that you can get on the Club Nintendo site. Like I mean, like a lot. Like there's like maybe like 50 games you can choose from to get with your coins before they are gone forever. And you can also get some merchandise. Like some of the new merchandise I see and that's particularly interesting is a Majora's Mask messenger bag. You can also have a Fierce Deity Link jigsaw puzzle and some other and a few other poster sets and or a Retro Mario t-shirt. Those are obviously pretty expensive, like 600 to 800 coins, depending which one you get. Game offers, lots of games you can pick from. Some ones that stand out is Yoshi's Island, Golden Sun, lots of NES, popular NES stuff. You can get the wonderful 101 on your Wii U for 600 coins, and I'm telling you, people, go get that game, please, because it's that awesome.
Yeah, and you guys are doing the Super Mega Awesome Go playtime on that game.
Freaking, so. I watched Bronson play Chrono Trigger, and that made me go buy the game for my DS. I watched Bronson play Pen Arcade, and I played through Okami. That's good. But Wonderful 101, yeah, I have to go buy that game now. Just get it somehow. Let's see, various N64 titles, Game Boy original titles. Yeah, there's a lot. You could also get Super Mario 3D Land for 600 coins, which I think is the best Mario game I ever played. But there's a lot to pick from. So currently, the website probably doesn't work because so many people have tried to sign in and redeem their stuff that the website, you can't sign in. So hopefully that will clear up, and you have until the end of June to get this done. So that's Club Nintendo. Wonder what they'll replace it with, because I hope it's better. It has to be better, actually, if they're going to kill Club Nintendo.
Sometimes when they do stuff like this, it's for the worse, but we'll
Nintendo
see.
is a constant love-hate relationship, I found out. It's just like sometimes you absolutely love them. Like last year for the Wii U, love it. Right now on the new 3DS with Monster Hunter 4 and Zelda Majora's Mask coming out, love it. Then they kill Club Nintendo, don't like that. And if you replace it with something worse, really hate that. It's just a constant love-hate relationship.
Right. So we'd see some from Sony and Microsoft like this. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
they're always talking about used game sales. Why don't they provide some incentive to get in a new game?
Like Bronson said,
the whole online code thing was stupid.
Like Bronson pointed out, great. Like with Nintendo games, people buy them at nearly or at full price all the time and continue to do so. Like why? Because their games are really good quality. They usually change enough to be worth buying it. And Club Nintendo, hey, you can get stuff.
Yeah. Right.
Wow, this week is... Oh, hey. Oh, hang on. We already covered that one last week.
It's been a very dead week.
Transistor is on PS4 for PlayStation Plus. Go get it.
Yes. Transistor 4 is free if you're on a PlayStation Plus subscriber. If you're not a PlayStation Plus subscriber, and you're on a PlayStation 4, I don't know what to tell you. Definitely worth the $50 a year. So yeah, it's free. Can't beat free.
Oh yeah, so we were talking about quarter sales for game consoles, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the quarter Wii U sales just shy of 2 million, with the number at 1.91.
That's not awful, but it's not good either. Especially when you're talking about the holiday season with the games that came out. That's actually very disappointing.
They freaking had an amazing bundle for the Wii U. I think it's like for $300 or $330. You got a deluxe Wii U with Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze, and Super Mario 3D World. Like that is amazing. Like I would personally, that would have been my bundle to go with, but you know.
And just like I said, we put it in perspective: 6.5 million PlayStation 4 sold during the final quarter. So you're talking about more than 3 times the amount of consoles sold for a console that doesn't have that many games yet and cost more.
I'm starting to think maybe Nintendo game consoles are now more like home game consoles are more like a niche thing now.
Well, yeah, and that's why I said with the Wii U, everyone's like, "Oh, the Wii U is going to be so big." I was like, "No, like the Wii. The reason why the Wii was big, it was really a one-time thing. It was just that whole taking video gaming and turning it into something that anyone can enjoy. And it got big because of Wii Sports, which came with every Wii, and then because of Wii Fit. I remember when Wii Fit came out, people were selling it for like 2 to 3 times the price, simply because you couldn't find it anywhere for a couple months. Well, it's not that case anymore. It's the Wii U. It's if you're into gaming and you're into Nintendo, yeah, you might get it, but you're not going to get the over 100 million people. You're not going to get the grandparents buying a Wii U. Whereas with the Wii, they did because I can play this game. This game's a lot of fun. The Wii U, it's like, there's a big tablet controller, and the grandparents are like, no, I'm fine with my Wii, you know? So, I called it. I mean, yeah, the Wii U is not a failure, far from a failure, but I think it's going to do slightly better than the GameCube. I mean, it might sell, in its lifespan, it might sell 35 million consoles. It's not going to be anywhere near 100 million.
Yeah,
like
but here's the thing, though. I wouldn't be surprised if the Wii U becomes one of the most beloved consoles in the far future. Because you think about how many people swear by their GameCubes. I still kind of do.
Oh, I love my GameCube, for sure.
Freaking, like, the GameCube just... Freaking, the PS2 outsold the GameCube almost, like, 7-1 or something. Like, the margin was that bad. But how many people do I know who've had GameCubes that, swear by it? It's freaking amazing. It's like one of the most beloved game systems, whereas, the general opinion I can get out of a PS2 is, oh yeah, it was a great system. Yeah, it was a good system. Good system. Yeah, good. But GameCubes, oh man, it has some of the best stuff ever. Is the kind of thing I hear. I mean, imagine the Wii U is going to be one of those things. Like, for me, the Wii U is going to become like another GameCube. It's just kind of like one of those sort of things that never really sold well, but the few who actually do have one absolutely love it. I mean, I really like it.
Yeah.
So,
but it's crazy. Less than two. I would expect a lot more than that. 'Cause think about less than 2 million. It's the holiday season, and Nintendo had an amazing lineup this year.
I mean, you kind of have to think about it. It's kind of like
freaking Super Smash Brothers and Mario Kart alone.
Oh yeah, Smash Brothers and Mario Kart sold huge, but I think it's kind of a bit of a perception thing also, because when you think about it, what does the Wii U look like right next to the PS4 and Xbox One in terms of what it does and features? Like, the PS4 and Xbox One are pitched as media systems that can do everything. They're the ones that can make your games look like movies and do all this stuff and features. Netflix, Blu-ray movies, features, connect to your PC, connect seamlessly to your smart TV. Do this, and this. So they look like entertainment boxes. That's what it is. They are an entertainment box. Whereas the Wii U is not a multi-purpose entertainment box. It can do Amazon Video, it can do Crunchyroll, and it can do Netflix, but it's a game system. And it's a game system that's Japanese and doesn't have stuff like Dragon Age or Call of Duty on it. So, or a Forza or a Gran Turismo. So that kind of bites. It just kind of feels like a more niche product. So that's just my guess, though. Because I freaking, like I said, like, it wasn't like the Nintendo bundle was bad. In fact, it has it probably had the best games. It was the bundle with the best games. Whereas, like, with Sony, here's Grand Theft Auto 5 and The Last of Us, games that you played last year, except they're now in 1080p and look somewhat prettier. And the Xbox One, it's like, here's a $330 system with a gift card thrown in and comes with Assassin's Creed, which, either you like it or hate it. Or you can get the Wii U bundle, which, yeah, you're going to lose a lot of horsepower, but you've got but you now have access to some of the best games that came out so far this generation. So, yeah. It's like, yeah, like, gaming enthusiasts, I somehow feel sometimes are a bit of a minority because, the general public probably is not that well versed on Nintendo other than, hey, my grandma had a Wii 10 years ago. Or 6 or 7 years ago. But that's just my guess.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. In other news, hey, are you all ready to start getting your pitchforks and start hurting each other over a bunch of amiibos because you can't find them, so you start fighting for them? Well,
I've got my pitchfork ready.
all right, wave 4 of amiibos are coming. And they got the character list out. So included will be Robin, Lucina, Wario, Pac-Man, Ness, and Charizard.
Cool. Yeah, the Amiibos thing isn't for me, but for people who are into Amiibos, that's great.
For me and Bronson, it's just really frustrating that we want to buy them, but you can't find what you want. I'm not joking. It's like Nintendo hired some itty-bitty little factory out in the middle of nowhere to make amiibos or something. Because they clearly are not putting out enough of them. Like, freaking, we went to our local Best Buy, and they were almost gone, and it's freaking early January. Early February. It's just, they're not there. And we can't even find what we're looking for. Like, for example, I wanted to get, like, maybe Marth, and I was just thought, hey, you know what, it would be nice if I got this character also. But you can't find them because Nintendo doesn't make enough. And because Nintendo doesn't make enough, people start, buying them as fast as they can. And once they buy them as fast as they can, then you can't find them, and then you go on eBay or Amazon or whatever, and next thing you know, they're selling them for $60 or something like that. Basically, they're getting scalped. And and as much as I want to buy Lucina and Charizard amiibos for Wave 4, I know I'm not going to find them. Charizard is a maybe. Lucina is going to be completely gone, because with the success of Fire Emblem Awakening, what are the chances of me going to find that amiibo? Frickin'... yeah. Just like Captain Falcon, how hard is it to find a Captain Falcon?
Do they have an official release date for these?
The third wave is coming out in a week or two, and Wave 4 I think is in... I don't know when Wave 4 is coming. They just announced the ones for Wave 4.
Yeah, because I was going to say, if there's an official release date, there may be the ability to just order them online at like midnight whenever they come out, but it doesn't sound like it'll be that easy.
No, I think the amiibos come out on the same day that the new 3DS and Majora's Mask comes out, which is Sunday, February 15th or something? Or is it Friday 13th? Wait, what? I'm gonna check on this.
Every month that begins on a Sunday has a Friday the 13th.
Hooray!
Wait, really?
Yes,
Yep.
really.
Every month that starts on a Sunday ends on Friday.
Oh crap!
Duh, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, I wasn't thinking.
Oh crap! The new 3DS does come out Friday 13th.
Haunted 3DS! Hey!
It doesn't even come with an AC
I
adapter.
guess that just make it bad luck.
I think it's cooler if it's haunted.
I mean,
Yeah,
Majora's Mask
I'm
does come on
pretty
that
sure-
day. Hey, Majora's Mask comes out on that day. That's probably good timing.
I still don't quite understand who in Nintendo's like, yeah, let's release a new 3DS and not include a power adapter. Like, that's the freaking... I still can't get over that. That's the dumbest thing I've ever freaking heard.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Here's the logic, right? Because a new 3DS does everything the original 3DS could do, including playing DS games, you would think that they would sell the old system, right? It makes sense, because here's the thing. If I had a new 3DS, I would sell my old 3DS, because why would I keep my old one? It's not like I can give it to anybody. So, I would sell it. But, of course, obviously you can't sell a system without it having a power adapter. So you have to go buy one yourself.
I just can't believe that.
And knowing Nintendo, who can't keep anything in stock,
yeah, they're gonna sell out of the power adapters.
Yeah,
and then people are gonna end up buying the new 3DS and won't be able to play it because they can't charge the damn thing.
Yeah, and like places like GameStop give you like, say, we're gonna help you cut the cost of a new 3DS if you trade in your old system. But of course, when you trade in your old system, you have no power adapter anymore. So, and it's not like they can just take power adapters out of new 3DSs because they have to come. Because what if you're a customer who's never had a portable system and buys one? You need electricity. I feel like Nintendo dumped the power adapter to get it below $200, which is that $199.99 magical number. Which doesn't make sense in my brain because it's not like you're
I still think they could have. I mean, how much? Okay, it might cost them $1 to create that power adapter. I'm sure they could have saved $1 elsewhere. If they include a stupid manual with that damn thing, don't include the manual. Just fucking include a sheet of paper with a link to the manual.
Yeah, I'm totally with you on that one.
Because
It's
between the ink and the paper, I'm sure that if they got rid of the manual and all the little
Supply
fancy,
them with a link to what the manual would be.
yeah,
An online one.
Or when you turn on your system for the first time, display all your epilepsy and seizure warnings when you turn on the system. There, you just didn't have to print an epilepsy and seizure warning paper now.
yeah. I mean, come on, like to not include a power adapter. Like what? So you're gonna tell me like the next time I go buy a TV that I have to buy a freaking power cord for my TV too? Like that's unbelievable.
Their logic makes no sense. They said, "Oh, well,
It's like oh, you want to buy these pair of shoes? Okay, well, you have to buy the shoelaces separately."
yeah." Well, here's the thing: shoelaces without the shoes without the shoelaces are still sort of usable, whereas electronics don't work without electricity. Obviously, I mean, freaking Nintendo's logic makes no sense because it's like they said. Oh, it's because people who buy a 3DS XL, a new 3DS XL already has a power adapter. I'm like, but I know a lot of family who bought DSIs for their kids and they didn't have a DS Lite or an original DS.
Right.
So a parent's gonna walk into a store, buy a new 3DS, and if the salesperson flat out does not tell them it doesn't come with a power adapter, they're going to think that they're going to probably return the product or get pissed or write angry letters to the store or Nintendo saying, your product doesn't have a power adapter, what are you selling me?
Right.
I'm also a little befuddled why they didn't have a regular 3DS size. They only have XLs for now. Because an XL can't fit in my pocket.
This logic is just so retarded.
Like I said, Nintendo's a constant love-hate relationship. You love that they're putting out Majora's Mask 3D, but you just hate what they're kind of doing with the new 3DS. In America, at least.
Ugh.
Their slogan's hilarious, too. Open a new world of gaming. And they should have put an asterisk that says, charger required.
Well, I mean, the box does say charger not included. I've seen the box, but still.
$199.99.
How many people are gonna think to say? I mean, it's not like batteries. Like, yeah, when you buy something that uses batteries, most
I
of the time
still
I do look.
personally think that's the stupidest thing in the world not to include the charger.
I know, I agree.
Like, that is so baffling.
I definitely agree. I mean, when I buy something that uses batteries, yes, I'll check the box to say if it includes batteries or not. But when you go buy something like a DS, the last thing you're going to look at is, does this come with a charger? Is it just generally accepted it comes with it?
It's like buying a new electronic of any kind. Oh, look, I bought a new phone. Oh, well, I guess it doesn't come with a charger.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like you bought a new phone. It doesn't come with the USB cable for you to charge it with or transfer your photos or pictures to. Or music.
Oh,
Good
look, I
luck.
bought this new
Expert
this
design
new
choice.
Kindle. Can't charge it because it doesn't come with a charger.
Even remote controls come with AA batteries, seriously. Man, we could rant about this all day. I think we did this like 3
I think
weeks
it's gonna
ago.
bite them in the ass.
And they're not going to have enough spares on hand. They're all going to disappear. Because if Nintendo can't keep amiibos stocked up or, keep their website kind of working correctly in Club Nintendo, I don't know if I have any confidence in their ability to deliver any chargers for those who actually bought the system.
That's when people start getting desperate and going to like third-party chargers.
Yeah, third-party chargers. It's like
I'm
that
sure the third-party manufacturers will see a nice increase in their sales.
It's like those GameCube adapter thingies for the Wii U. They're $20, but they disappeared really fast. Like freaking, I could sell mine for $80 right now, and somebody would buy it.
Yeah.
It's just like Nintendo. You make lots of GameCube controllers. I see GameCube controllers in every store I walk to, but you don't sell the thing that makes it work. Are you guys stupid? Shortage of GameCube controllers, I understand, because, you know, maybe a person would buy 3 GameCube controllers for every adapter, but seriously, you've got all the controllers and nothing to help plug it into. Like, are you guys freaking retarded?
It's like me, I have 5 GameCube controllers, but I don't have an adapter.
I mean, at least I could use it on my old GameCube. That's a nice perk, right? Oh, man.
It's just with some of these companies, the decisions they make. And they've all made these types of decisions. Not just Nintendo. It's just Nintendo's having their time.
I mean,
but
like,
Sony and
Nintendo
Microsoft had their fair share.
Who works at the sales analyst department at Nintendo? Because freaking this is the same Nintendo that only about a year or two ago that says we're gonna sell so many Wii U's and 3DS's. And then they had to freak out and explain to investors why they didn't sell a gazillion 3DSs and Wii U's, and then they had to say, so, sorry financial people, we are losing lots of money.
Ooh, I wonder why.
I feel like the reason why they didn't make many adapters and amiibos is because Nintendo is still in that state of shock where it's like the Wii U is flat out nowhere near as successful as they thought it would be. And then they decided, you know what, let's not make that many amiibos, and then they become like the hot toy of the season, and it's like now nobody can find it. Man, it's ridiculous. They better make more of those amiibos I can't find, because if they don't, these things are going to become extremely valuable. Like collectibles and unboxed ones are going to be more valuable.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be one of those things that, like, right when they become valuable, that's when Nintendo will be like, oh, maybe we should mass produce these.
I remember seeing
everyone who spent a lot of money on them will get upset.
I remember seeing on eBay a long time ago, and this was before the Wii, that copies of the N64 version of Zelda Ocarina of Time would sell for like, you know, $40 or $50, and if it was like the original gold cartridge, it would sell for like maybe $60, I think. And then the moment Nintendo put out Ocarina of Time on the Virtual Console, it plummeted down to like $8.
Yeah,
that was pretty interesting.
Oh boy, it's just like, well, this actually made sense. It's like when the PSP. Those original PSP batteries, those started selling for quite a bit because you could modify the battery so you could hack into them, and people were selling those hacked batteries for like a lot of money.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a great idea by Sony. Yeah, let's put some of the computer code on the battery, or computer hardware on the battery itself. You know, holy crap, guys.
That's a genius idea.
You guys, I understand it's for security reasons, but here's the thing about hardware. Once you bypass it, you can't really fix it that easily. Oh my goodness.
Sony messed up bad there, for sure.
At least the PSP sold well, and had a bit of a fighting chance.
Yeah, the Vita, on the other hand, not so much.
The Vita is getting squashed by the 3DS, and the Vita, and also getting squashed by smartphones. I mean, that's what I think. What else? I mean, I'm not joking. I feel like I'm curious. Is the Vita being outsold by the NVIDIA Project Shield? Because if it is, that is really sad.
Yeah, that would be actually very, very sad. Here's the difference, though. The Shield doesn't have to sell as much as the Vita to make their money back.
I mean, here's the thing. The Shield, we all just kind of look at the Shield and think, yeah, it won't sell that big. I mean, yeah, it'll connect to NVIDIA Grid if they ever do anything with it. That was a long time ago. Hey, if NVIDIA does anything with Grid or, you know, stuff like that, okay, at least Shield Store has a use, and you know what? A lot of people in the gaming enthusiast market is thinking, yeah, the Shield won't sell well. in the case of the Vita, you would think the Vita would have done better. But it didn't, and then that kind of raised the question, is it being outsold by Shield?
Yeah. I think the Vita is kind of pretty much the last stab, and Sony's just going to focus on consoles for now for gaming.
I mean, their PS4 is a flaming success. Why not focus on it?
Yeah, it makes some money too. So why focus on something that's struggling when you have something else that's very successful?
The Vita also has some stupid decisions too, because it's like, yes, we're going to come up with a proprietary memory format, and I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, it's like, yes, I understand that you want to keep performance uniform across all memory sticks. I understand the logic behind that, but you know, the pricing on that memory, I'm sorry, I can get like 32 gigabyte SD cards for like a third less, or maybe even half the price of a PS Vita 32 gigabyte stick. It's just, the system is just kind of expensive that way. And it didn't really have like that big pop culture title on it either, except for maybe Uncharted and a couple others. Anyways, that's the Vita bashing.
Oh, anything else?
That's
We've
all I
got
could find.
nothing.
Yeah, it was a pretty uneventful week for sure. But let's go ahead and promote stuff going on with the site. So this goes up Friday. So Saturday, so tomorrow, if you guys listen to this today, this came out, we will be streaming on Twitch at 3 p.m. Pacific time, Battlefield Hardline Beta. I'd streamed a little bit earlier during the week. So thank you everyone who came to the stream. My stream on Monday was very successful. There was so many people typing messages in the chat room, I just couldn't freaking keep up with it, which is awesome. I tried to answer as many as I could, but we got a lot of new subscribers on Twitch and new members of the website, so thank you guys for checking it out on Twitch. Yesterday's stream was pretty good as well. I know John streamed a little bit today. I'm going to try to stream tomorrow, although when you listen to this, it'll actually be yesterday. I'm going to try to stream. So streaming is going to be a big, huge part of the Gamer Access going from this point forward. We're going to have at least one weekly scheduled stream, which is usually our 60-minute access series. But we're going to have at least one scheduled. It's usually 3 p.m. Pacific time on Saturday. So if you're available that time, check us out on twitch.tv/thegameraccess. You can check us streaming there. If not, be sure to check the Gamer Access out on Twitter at the Gamer Access, and we will tweet there and post on our Facebook page when we go on the stream. Or you can just go ahead and follow our Twitch right now, twitch.tv/Gamer Access, and then you'll get an email or a notification saying when we are live. So I know me personally, I'm trying to commit to at least 2 streams a week. Generally, obviously you can't do those on Wednesdays because that's when we record Unscripted Access. Fridays generally do not work out. But Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays are usually, if I'm going to have the ability to, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursday nights are usually the best nights for me. And usually I will start streaming around 7 p.m. Pacific. So, yeah. So on a Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific, if I am free, I will be streaming on Twitch. We'd love to see you guys on there. We'd love interacting with the audience. Yeah. So that's that. Anything else with the site we want to go ahead and promote before we close it out with comments and questions?
Nope.
Not that I can remember right now.
I think we're gonna cut out because I have to wake up really early. So it was nice talking news with you guys. We will try to be on Unscripted Access more often.
I think we're gonna wrap up really soon, actually, because we only have one comment on Unscripted this week.
Oh, okay. Well then, we'll stick around for that.
This comes from one of our regular viewers on the Twitch stream, actually. It's from Blake. Loving all the new streams, guys.
Well, that was awesome timing. Thank you for Blake 4587. He's always on our Twitch. He must subscribe to us because every time I stream, he's on there. He's always on there.
He was
So
there
thank
during
you,
the
Blake.
charity run too.
Yeah, so thank you, Blake. You're awesome. We'd like to see more of you guys. And come on, guys, comments and questions. Come on. We read them on the show. Come on, guys. Let's get some more this week, and we'll bring them up. Especially like for a week like this where there's not much news, we have plenty of time to talk about other stuff. So throw stuff out in the comments as long as it's not some completely ridiculous. If it's ridiculous, we'll cover it. But if it's completely ridiculous, we'll play that by ear. We'll talk about it. So yeah, so that closes out Unscripted Access episode number 115. Thank you guys for listening. We're out.
Bye.
Bye. Good night, guys.